Okay, so we have already finished the first part of our toggle clasp, and this is what it looks like. I have already added this ring up here so that I can run my wire through it and attach it to my necklace. This is the second part of our toggle clasp, and it's a toggle bar. I haven't yet finished it. I'm going to show you how to do it for those of you that don't know how to do peyote stitch. It's made of peyote stitch. It's even count peyote stitch. I added 10 beads and it's 5 rounds long. How do you know that it's 5 rounds long? Okay, I have this made already, and when you count 5, as you can count there, you can count 5 rounds right there. Let me do a little bit of a close-up. Okay, there's 5 rounds. You can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn your work over, and you can also count 5 on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when you have already done 5, you can count 5 rounds on both sides. Then you're going to close your work, and you will see that for every bead that is sticking out on one side, there is going to be another bead on the other side that will be filling up those spaces in between the beads. Okay, but I will be showing you how to do it now. First, we're going to start out by making the first few rows of peyote stitch. For those of you that don't know how to make peyote stitch, this is, like I said, even count peyote stitch. So we're going to put a stop bead on our thread. I usually don't put stop bead. I don't use stop beads on my work. I think that, well, it makes it very difficult for me to keep the tension. So, but I'm going to show you how to put this stop bead. You put one bead on your thread, and this is the tail end of your beadwork. You have a tail here. You just leave a small tail. You don't really need to leave such a big tail. Okay, and then you're gonna come with your needle, going through, you know, the way you threaded your needle, opposite from the tail. So let me put the needle through, opposite from the tail. Sorry, you can't see. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Wow. Okay, I want to put it up against the camera. Here we have it. We're going to, it's got a very short tail. It's got a very short tail. Oh God, come on. the tail, and we're going to go opposite. This is the tail end over here, and we're going to go opposite from the tail to thread it. Or you can just make a simple knot. Okay, so there we have the stop bead. Okay, so here we have the stop bead, and we've already made the knot so that it will it usually slides. You can usually slide it to adjust your tension on your work. So we're going to I'm going to use this stop bead as part of the 10 beads that I'm going to add to make the toggle bar. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and now you let those drop, and then you're going to start to make your beaded stitch. You're going to take a bead, skip the first bead on your work, and go in through the second bead towards your stop bead. Now make sure that this bead, when you pull, make sure that the bead goes on top of the other one. Okay, so there you have one bead on top of the other one. Okay, let me pull it closer. There. Okay, your thread is coming out of the next seed bead. At first your work is going to look kind of weird until you come to the third row. That is when you're going to be able to see your work actually taking shape. So we're coming out of this bead right here that's next to the 2 seed beads. We're going to take up another seed bead, and then we're going to put it into the next seed bead. We're going to skip and put it into the next seed bead. Okay, there you go. So this is what you did. From the seed bead from the seed bead where the thread is coming out from, it's coming out of this seed bead. You're going to skip the next seed bead, the seed bead next to it. You're going to take up one of your seed beads and put it in the next one. So it's coming out of this one, skip the next one and put it in the next one, into the next one, to make a step up thing, sort of. Okay, there you go. And this is what your work should be beginning to look like. We're going to just keep going the opposite direction from the camera. It just throws me off. Okay, so this is what your work should be beginning to look like. Come on, from here like that. And your thread is coming out of the seed bead. We're going to skip the next one and go into the other one. It's coming out of the seed bead. We're going to skip this one and go into the next seed bead. Trying to keep your tension on your thread. And there you go. So it's beginning to take shape. Now this is going to be the last one. Your thread is coming out of this seed bead. We're going to skip the next one and we're going to take up a seed bead and go into the last seed bead, the one that we are using as a stop bead. We're not going to take out, we're not going to take off our thread yet, the one that is holding it there, because we want to get to at least our third row, where your beadwork sort of becomes a little bit more stable, and there we're going to be able to take off that that seed bead. Not the seed bead, I'm sorry, the thread from that seed bead. So here is what our work should be looking like already. Okay, let's see. I'm using thinner thread this time, and it's sort of making it a little bit difficult for me. Okay. Pick up another seed bead and go back. And now you can see some of the seed beads are already sticking out from the ones on the first row. So we take up a seed bead and we go through that seed bead. And it should stay and cover that hole or that spot at the beginning. We take up another seed bead and we go through the next one that's sticking out from the rest. Take up another seed bead, go through the next one, another seed bead, go through the next, pick up another seed bead, the last one for this row, and go through the last seed bead that is sticking up on this row. So there, this is what your work is beginning to look like. Now I like to flip my work, it makes it easier for me, so I just flip it, and you will still be able to see that there are some seed beads that are a little bit higher than the others. So take up your next seed bead, go through that seed bead, and just pull so that the tension on your work is even. Okay, there you go. Take up another seed bead, go through the next one, be sure that your thread doesn't get tangled in between the seed beads, so you don't have to go, undo your work and go back. Take up another seed bead, go through your next one, there you go. Take up another seed bead, go through your next one, take up another seed bead and go through the last seed bead on that row. Okay, now here we have completed only 2 rows on one side and 3 on the other. How do I know that? Because if you pick up your work here, you can count count 3. But if you flip your work, here you can only count 2. So that is how you count, that you make sure that when you finish your work, you have 5 rows on one side, and you can count them perfectly well, 5 rows. And if you flip your work, you can count 5 rows on the other side as well. So you're going to continue working on this piece the way we have been doing until now. It's really easy. All you do is just continue with your work. Just continue with your work, picking up one seed bead, going through the seed bead that is outstanding from the others, and then pick up another seed bead and go into this seed bead, pick up another seed bead and go through the next one, and so on until you can count 5 rows like I showed you before on both sides. Now to continue this one, we're going to, this one already has the 5 rows, okay? So we're going to take our thread from where it's coming out here. We're going to take our thread and we're going to go on the opposite side and pull our needle through. And then we're going to go on the opposite side of that one and pull our needle through the seed bead that is outstanding there. And you're going to begin to see how this is going to close. Go to the next side, go through the seed bead that is standing out on that side, then on this side go through the seed bead, and there, we're closing on both sides. It's going to come into one even roll there. Okay. So here we've come to the end. As you can see, it all looks even. And that is how it looks even on this one as well, on the one that we already have ready to put our fringe on. So to put the fringe, all you have to do is come up. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you. To close this out, all you have to do is take the tail from the first seed bead and then just pull it out from that seed bead, or you can leave it like that and just make a couple good knots and cut that tail, okay? Make a couple good knots, cut the tail. You won't be able to see it because what's going to happen is that you're going to embellish it. Now, like I said before, you can use two ways of finishing your toggle bar. For the first one would be using your crystal using your crystal. You pull through your crystal and then take okay, this is really long. Okay, it's a long thread. Okay, pull through your crystal, take one of the seed beads, let it drop, and then skip the seed bead, go back through your crystal and go through the center of your toggle bar to the other side. And as you pull, it's going to stay in place. Okay? It's going to stay in place. Just put this, place it, move it around so that it stays in place. And here you're going to do the same. Take your crystal and then one of your seed beads, let them drop, skip the seed bead, and go through your crystal. And here you have one type of toggle bar. Okay, you're going to go again through your crystal, your seed bead, and then go to the other side and do the same thing. And then you're going to work your way towards the center of your toggle bar, and you're going to come out and make a small loop and just go through that space until like 2 or 3 times, and then just, you know, make a couple hitch knots and cut it off, and then that way you have your toggle bar and your toggle round. Me in particular, I'm going